Welcome to Puerto Rico English News, the only English-speaking broadcast of local Puerto Rican news and entertainment. Please subscribe. Keep us alive.
Santa Isabela, Puerto Rico. Agents from the Ponce District Drug and Narcotics Division arrested Christopher J. Rivera, who is a person of interest in several murders and violent crimes in the municipality of Santa Isabela, yesterday, Thursday, reported the director of the division, the Lieutenant Antonio Hernandez Bianchi. Rivera, 19, was arrested during an investigation of a drug sales point between buildings 15 and 16 of the Pedro and Acart residential complex in the Santa Isabela municipality. The officers seized a Glock Model 19 modified to fire like an automatic, 3 Glock magazines, 86 rounds of 9mm ammunition, 4 9mm shells, a large bag and 28 bags of marijuana, a purse with $725 in cash inside, and a gray 2003 Toyota Corolla. The arrest occurred Friday, October 8.
San Juan, Puerto Rico, a man was shot to death on 3rd Street of the Dos Pinos townhouse suburb, police said in a press release. The events occurred at around 11:34 p.m. October 8. The deceased was identified as Daniel Lancelot Sebastian, 32 years old and a resident of San Juan. The victim was transported to the hospital but succumbed to his injuries and died. The number of murders so far this year has risen to 460 after police reported the most recent crime last night in San Juan. According to the police data, this total represents 65 violent deaths more than those reported last year to this date when the number was 395.
Condado, Puerto Rico, a security officer shot an alleged assailant on Friday morning, October 8, who stabbed him while trying to rob him at the Ashford Gallery property on Ashford Avenue in Condado, police reported. The police report indicates that the assailant approached the security guard and attacked him with a knife to the head and face. After which, the security guard shot the man several times to repel his attack. Both the security officer and the alleged assailant were transported to a hospital institution. Both are in stable condition.
October 6, the San Juan Prosecutor's Office filed charges of murder in the first degree, attempted murder in the first degree, and violations of the weapons law against Ramon Castillo Rosario for the death of Jonathan Basilio Rodriguez in a violent incident recorded on September 29 in Rio Piedras. Castillo Rosario remained a fugitive from the police until last Wednesday, October 6, when officers went to arrest him at an apartment on the Hill Brothers parcels. The now defendant barricaded himself in the residence and only left after several hours of negotiations with the police. According to police, Castillo Rosario, 55 years old, went to the La Parada grocery store located on Calle Padres Capuchinos in Rio Piedras September 29 and fired shots into the building, killing Basilio Rodriguez and wounding Juan Francisco Santiago Rivera and Alicia Miguel Cabrera. Bail was set at $2.6 million.
Juana Diaz, Puerto Rico, a murder was reported at around 9:36 p.m. on Thursday, October 7 on Palmira Street in the Monclova suburb. Nestor Luis Bourbon, 44 years old, was shot to death in the house of his sister. There were 2 minors in the home at the time of the murder. They were reportedly unharmed. The police reported that the deceased had a criminal record for crimes under the Arms and Controlled Substances Law.
Las Piedras, Puerto Rico, an employee of the Girasol Motel was found dead Thursday afternoon, October 7, in the vicinity of the Montones neighborhood. Authorities found the body on the pavement near the dumpster area. The man was identified as Francis Diaz, 52. The police classified the event as a death without a specific cause.
Bayamon, Puerto Rico, a man lost $7,000 Friday, October 8 after being the victim of a scam in which a person who identified himself as an agent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, told him that it was an investigation and that he had to pay money. The alleged scammer told the victim that he had an arrest warrant against him. The victim alleged that the scammer identified himself as an Illinois State FBI agent and that he had to pay $7,000 and he agreed to do so. Subsequently, he sent $4,500 by bank transfer, $500 by ATH Móvil and $2,000 through the Western Union Transfer Service. On September 16, the FBI arrested a group of people called the Group of 27, a criminal organization that operates by calling people impersonating federal agents and extorting money from them. The federal and state governments insist that anyone who receives a call like this must hang up the call and immediately notify authorities. Other fraud schemes through telephone calls are the story of a kidnapped relative, the car salesman who reports that the person won a car, and the criminal who alleges that a relative of the person he called hit someone with a car and that in order to avoid trouble, he must send money.
Yauco, Puerto Rico, Wednesday, October 6. The authorities requested the help of citizens to find the whereabouts of a couple who were last seen in Yauco on September 20. The missing are Roberto Luis Matei Perez, 49, a Yauco resident, and Yolanda Albaran Santos, 38, from Guayanilla. The couple was reported missing on September 23 by family saying they had been last seen in front of the Burger King establishment in Yauco in the company of Albaran Santos. Mr. Matei Perez was described as having a fair complexion, 5 feet 10 inches tall, brown eyes, black hair and approximately 160 pounds in weight. Meanwhile, Ms. Santos is white, 5 feet 5 inches tall, with black hair and brown eyes.
Naguabo, Puerto Rico, the police reported the theft of 150 pigs from a farm on the PR-31 highway of the Rio Blanco neighborhood. According to the authorities, the incident was reported Friday, October 8, around 9 o'clock in the morning. The pigs weigh about 30 to 40 pounds and are valued at $10,000. The police urged citizens to contact the police if they have details about this crime through 787-343-2020 extension 4044.
In court news, a minor faces first-degree murder charges for killing 3 youths in Fajardo. The Justice Department indicated that the 17-year-old, who would be tried as an adult, was posted a $1,200,000 bond. The minor faces charges as an adult for allegedly perpetrating the 7th massacre of the year, when he shot at a moving vehicle and killed 3 people. The events occurred July 21, 2021.
Fajardo, Puerto Rico, a woman died and 2 other people were shot in the afternoon of October 9, after a vehicle approached theirs on PR3, Quebrada sector, in the direction of Fajardo to Ceiba, and fired into their vehicle. After committing the crime, the perpetrators escaped and set fire to the vehicle from which the shots were fired. The victims were transported to a local hospital.
Isabela Beach, the body of a man who drowned on the beach Golondrina State Isabela was recovered the afternoon of October 9 by a citizen and by rescue personnel, reported the police. The deceased, Richie Scott Densmore, was swept away by ocean currents and his body was recovered by a citizen who identified herself as a lifeguard. He was on an outing with his daughter and son-in-law.
Fajardo, Puerto Rico, court news, October 7, the last eyewitness to the murder of O'Neil Mercado Rios, which occurred on August 18, 2019, identified Jensen Medina Cardona as the haughty man who demanded a telephone and who committed the crime that night. August 2019, O'Neil Mercado Rios was shot dead at a pier in Fajardo, Puerto Rico. Police said Rios, 34, found a cell phone in a public bathroom. Rios placed the phone in the yacht she was on so that she could later return it to its owner. A couple later arrived looking for the phone and the owner, allegedly Medina Cardona, became enraged and questioned Rios over whether she intended to keep the phone. He then shot Rios in the neck and fled the scene with his female companion.
In other court news, October 7, as Nelson Del Valle Colon faces charges of conspiracy, theft of federal funds, kickbacks, fraud and obstruction of justice, federal prosecutors Jonathan Edward Jacobson and Scott H. Anderson filed a 30-page document outlining the reasons why they oppose the request for the dismissal of charges filed by Del Valle Colon's attorneys. Former Representative Del Valle Colon reportedly inflated the salaries of female employees to keep part of that public money. He faces charges with co-defendants Mildred Estrada Rojas and Nicole Santos Estrada.
October 6 to 12, members of the jury found O'Neil Gonzalez guilty of murder in all 5 charges related to the kidnapping and killing of 20-year-old Rosimar Rodriguez Gomez on September 17, 2020. Rosimar was kidnapped from her home in the Sabana Seca neighborhood, in Toa Baja. Mirangeli Gomez Ortiz, aunt of Rosimar Rodriguez Gomez, stated, "Nothing is going to give Rosimar back to us, but justice was done. We are very pleased, very satisfied, with the unanimous verdict. We never lost faith that God was going to be there." The Department of Health reported the death of a 65-year-old man from COVID-19, bringing the total number of deaths to 3,192 since the emergency began in March 2020. According to the agency's website, this death occurred on October 10. The month of September closed with 267 deaths from the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus. Thus, August remains the deadliest month of the virus so far this year, with 312.
The Puerto Rican urban artist Bad Bunny used his voice to narrate an ad in an Adidas video, in English, dedicated to the Argentine soccer player Lionel Messi, and available from this Saturday on the Sports Friends social networks. The 30-second ad, titled "The Impossible Is Nothing," opens with images of Messi's hometown, Rosario, followed by an old video of Messi playing soccer and scoring a goal. The video of the ad continues with images of Messi playing with the Argentine team, scoring goals and celebrating one of the 6 Ballon d'Or that he has won. Similarly, in the video several young people with physical disabilities appear playing soccer, demonstrating that there are no limitations to do the same.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Help us survive.